There are some times where, and I've been there, you can literally be sitting in your bed crying your eyes out, thinking, if I were not to live another second, another day, that would be the best. There are thoughts like that, okay? Because we fall into a pit. I don't want to just say ingratitude, but we're just looking at all of the things that are going wrong. Sometimes you just gotta vent. Peace, everybody. Have y'all noticed something different yet? Yes, your girl got some professional sound going, okay? And I'm gonna have to plug in the, I guess, the description where, like, what I bought, because this system is off the chain, okay? But anywho, peace, family. Welcome back to my channel. And we're doing it this year, 2024, okay? We have no excuses. We've learned from our mistakes all the previous years, not just 2023, okay? And one of the things that I am so grateful for is the ability and the awareness to learn from the mistakes of my past. Okay? When I learn from my mistakes, I have the ability to move forward and actually correct the things that I've done wrong. I can go forward and do it in a way that is phenomenal because I learned how not to do it. So anywho, I just want to talk about gratitude in general today, because there's so many things to be grateful for. And I know there are some times where, and I've been there, there are times where you can literally be sitting in your bed crying your eyes out, thinking, if I were not to live another second, another day, that would be the best thing for myself, for everybody around me. There are thoughts like that, okay? Because we fall into a pit of, I don't want to just say ingratitude, but we're just looking at all of the things that are going wrong, right? And I've been there. When you think of, man, I've been trying to accomplish certain things, and it just doesn't seem like I'm going to ever get there. It just doesn't seem like I'm going to ever accomplish it. And so when I feel that way, or if I've ever felt that way, and I have, what happens is I think back on a lot of the different talks that I've heard where they say, count your blessings. Start counting all the little things that you're grateful for, even if it's just that you're breathing. Because some people be like, man, everything is going wrong. Okay. You have the brain capacity to even think that everything is going wrong. That's something that somebody else does not have, because they are buried 6 feet under in the grave. Okay. They can't even think about how everything is going wrong. You know what I mean? So there's so many things. When I think of the word gratitude, there's so many things that encompasses it. And I always say this. Well, I don't always say it. I just came up with this the other night. Patience is gratitude's favorite cousin. Yes, I said it. Patience is gratitude's favorite cousin. And so what do I mean by that? Even if we admit to ourselves, like, you know, it's my fault that I didn't do this, or I didn't work out, and I didn't do that, and I didn't eat healthy, and so now I have diabetes and all of these different things. It's one thing to say these things and admit that a lot of the things that we are going through in a negative way, we could say, is due to our failure of duty or failure of whatever, neglect, right? But even when we say that or acknowledge that, we don't want to get ourselves into a pit of sorrow, right? Because as long as we have another day, we have the opportunity to correct our wrongs, right? So when I think of the word gratitude, which is patience's favorite cousin, I think about all the different ways that we can go forward, and that we can look at our past mistakes and we could say, you know what, from this point on, I'm going to make an effort, and I'm going to make a conscious decision to learn from my mistakes, right? Our nature is that of Allah, the Most High. And the Most High is abundant. It's literally in our nature to want best. There's something in all of us that knows there's higher heights to achieve, that there's higher degrees of knowledge, and that there's higher degrees of in everything that we do. And we know that we can reach higher heights in any and every field of endeavor because His greatness stretches far above. So of course, we want the most. We want the highest heights. We want the best. But He also made life with balance. The requirement to be able to gain more and to be able to gain more with still a peace of mind is to have peace within yourself. Peace in your morals, peace in your character first. Because when we have peace in ourselves, peace in our morals, peace in our character, then what happens is you can be grateful, you can be peaceful in any state that you're in any state, in any condition that you're in. I'm talking about the person who's living in a 1-bedroom apartment with 5 people, with 7 people, right? There are things even in those type of situations that are positive. There are things in every situation is a light in the tunnel. But when you see yourself and you find yourself in a condition like that, right? Of course, you're going to be striving to get a bigger place. Of course, you're going to try to get maybe a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, whatever you can, right? Because that's just our nature. We always want higher and higher degrees. Don't feel bad for wanting more. The point of this video is not to make you feel bad for wanting more. The point of this video is you getting contentment of mind where you are now so that you can get more. Because the way that the Most High set it up, He's not going to give until you can be content with where you are now. And the mindset has to be there so that when He does add on to you, you can sustain it. You don't want to get something added on and you can't hold on to it. You lose it immediately. That's why they say that people who have a really quick rise to fame, a lot of times they lose it. It's not because they're just completely ungrateful for the rise of fame. It's just because they didn't have the proper foundation. So never look at yourself like, man, I'm not where I need to be. It could take you years upon years. Did you see Tyler Perry's story? I watched his documentary, okay? And it wasn't no quick rise to fame. It was pain, it was abuse, it was so many things that pointed into the direction that he was not going to make it to be one of the most rich, one of the richest black men that's ever lived in America, right? When you can find gratitude in the now, it does something to the brain that signals that it's time to get more. Because now you're in a space where the brain is saying, oh, she's content, she's happy, she's at peace. And that's when you start hearing about all that talk about the law of attraction. It's because when you are on a higher vibration, when you are on a vibration that says, I'm good, regardless. God got me, regardless. The Most High has me, regardless. When you're in that state of mind, what happens is you start attracting things that relate to that state of mind, which is security, right? A tree is solid. When you look, you see the tree, you know people can cut down the tree, but you're pretty sure that that tree is going to be standing there tomorrow, right? It's solid. It's in place. It's rooted. It's firmly rooted. So what we have to do when it comes to gratitude, we have to root ourselves in something. So that those nights where we're crying our eyes out saying, man, if I don't live another day, I'll be fine. You know, that'll probably be better for the world. First of all, we do need you. The entire world, we are all interconnected, whether you know it or not. We are interconnected, whether you know it or not. That's why your favorite celebrity can pass away and you just crying in your room. You ain't never met him a day in your life, but we're interconnected, right? So I just want to point that out. Never think that this world will be a better place without you. Now, when you practice gratitude, what happens is Allah starts opening you up and pairing things in your atmosphere consciously to match the subconscious feeling of peace and contentment and gratitude within you. And let's be real here. Again, I'm not saying be grateful that you're broke. Okay? I ain't saying be grateful you only got $2 in your bank account. Be grateful. That's not what this is about. Okay? Let's keep it real. I'm saying we have to be grateful for the fact that we are even allowed to live another day, to even think new thoughts, to even be able to create new habits, to get us out of the conditions that we're in now. And every day is an exploration. We've watched the media, we watch people on Instagram, and we thinking everybody got a good life but me. God dog it, everybody's smiling and all this stuff. It's hard to be grateful for something when you feel like, well, I don't have much to be grateful for. Excuse me? Excuse me? Oh, you have a lot to be grateful for. We all have a lot to be grateful for, because to be in the land of the living, you say, well, I could be in the land of the living, I could be alive, but if I don't know what to do with my life, then what's the point? The point is, it's time to start searching. It's time to start looking and seeking, because when you seek, you find. And that's one of the laws of the Most High. If you seek, you find. That's what prayer is. Prayer is just not only a ritual in Islam and Christianity and Judaism, whatever. Prayer is an action as well. Prayer is seeking, consciously and actively seeking better, higher thoughts, knowledge, wisdom. When you go to that elder and you ask him questions, ask her questions, that's a prayer, okay? When you go on and you're doing your everyday thing, when you're gardening, when you're trying to go to the grocery store and pick a better food selection, that's a prayer. The prayer is, I'm striving to be better. I'm striving to get closer. I'm striving to get more wisdom, right? That's a prayer. So we have to reevaluate what a prayer is, right? And so I say, when it comes to that time where you feel like, well, I don't really have much to be grateful for, that's when it's time to pray, which means that's time to seek. It's time to talk. It's time to ask. It's time to think about all those things that you've learned in your past. There's people who literally write books on just all the mistakes that they made and how they learned from it. And then they start getting money from the book. You know why? Because we are all books. I remember Minister Louis Farrakhan saying, every single one of us is a book. Every single one of us is a book. And yes, every single one of us has felt low. Every single one of us has felt like I can't go on. Every single one of us. And if you haven't ever felt like that, well, praise be to Allah. But if you ever do feel that way, or if you ever have felt that way, I'm telling you right now, you are going to get past that. You know, it doesn't seem like it, but you will. Now, how can we be patient where we are now? Because again, patience is gratitude's favorite cousin. So how can we be patient and in this grateful state of mind while we're waiting for what we want to happen? The only way we can truly be patient is by putting your full faith in the universal law of God, putting your full faith in the universal law that the Most High established. You don't rush babies to walk because you know that eventually they're gonna walk, right? So when we see a baby and when we give birth to babies, we don't rush them like, you better be walking tomorrow, you better walk by tomorrow or it's over, you ain't gonna get no milk. Come on now. We know because the universal law is humans walk, okay? There are other circumstances, we understand, but I'm talking about in general, humans walk, right? Gave birth to a human, it's a baby, it's gonna eventually start walking. Could start walking at 9 months, could start walking at 10, 11, 12 months, could start walking after 1, right? But it's gonna walk, okay? So when we realize that, listen, a baby is gonna walk. We don't get all impatient with the baby, like, you better hurry up. No, so why do we do that with ourselves? It's because with the baby, we know the universal law that he or she is going to walk. But somehow with us, we don't understand that the universal law of consistently seeking a thing and trying a thing and going after a thing with vigor, that for some reason we just think we're not going to get it. So we can apply the same logic to the baby and know that they're going to get it. So we patient with them. But we're not patient with ourselves when it comes to the goal that we're trying to get, the things that we're trying to accomplish, the prayers that we are trying to get answered. We're not patient with that because for some reason we just don't believe that it's going to be possible. But see, the baby has a certain type of faith because the baby sees everybody and their mama around them walking. So the baby knows, like, okay, I might not get it today, but I'm gonna eventually get it. Everybody around me is walking. So the baby has faith. That's why the baby's not stressed out about not walking. The baby's just like, okay, try this time and then go eat, Oh, fell. Oh, okay, well, I'll try a little bit later. Maybe right before my next bottle, I'll try it again. The baby is not stressing out because the baby has a certain faith where they see everything around it. They say, I can do that. That's innate in us, right? And so we have to get that baby faith. That's why scripture says we must be as a child, right? Because once we start understanding, man, I'm starting to see all these people doing the thing that I desire, or you might not see anybody doing the thing that you desire to do. You might have a new creation, right? You might have a new invention that no one has ever done, but you got to believe in it. Because no one is going to be able to bring that into fruition but you. So you got to be patient with yourself, especially if there's no blueprint, okay? But when there is a blueprint, when you know you can be successful. Child, my phone done overheated. I had to start. But hey, the sun is on me, and that's what I like. That's what I like. That's what I like. But yeah, so when you do find the blueprint, and when you do find that the people who are around you and the people that you've observing and then the books that you've been reading, that it says that it's possible to attain what it is that you're striving to attain, then you got to have that patience. You got to have that child patience. You got to be as a child and just understand that I'm going to get it eventually. It's going to happen. There's something that I learned about when we get ungrateful and we start feeling depressed, right? It's because we are not in present time, okay? Present time, what does that mean? There's a quote by L. Ron Hubbard, who's a leader of Scientology, and he says, present time is a very important factor in mental and spiritual sanity and ability. A human being can be stuck in literally thousands of different past moments. His behavior and attitudes are influenced by such past incidents and experiences. As a matter of fact, a person can be totally regressed and can be in an incident of the past to the entire exclusion of present time. So when we start feeling depressed, it's because we're thinking about something that has either happened in the past, or we're thinking about this no good future that's about to happen. There's always something about to happen. It's going to be so horrible when I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm going to be poor my whole life. That's being stuck in the future and stuck in the past, okay? We have to be present. If I clap my hands, this is something that's happening present time. That's why people say snap out of it, snap out of it. That's why you see movies where they slap somebody senseless because they're trying to get them to come back and snap into reality when they start panicking and going all over the place. You got to snap them into present time. When you snap somebody into present time, they can just look in the moment like, oh, I'm here. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. It doesn't matter what's about to happen in the future. I am here, and everything that I can do, everything that I can be, everything that is in this moment. Because again, let's not be arrogant and think that tomorrow is guaranteed to us. So we crying like, oh, Lord, life is going to be so bad. Like, okay, you might not be living the next second, right? So then what? You just was sad in that moment when you could have been grateful or happy for being able to breathe. Even if that one thing saying, I feel like all I got to be grateful for is because I'm breathing. Well, then breathe it on up, because whatever you do, whatever you focus on expands, right? So even if you feel like there's only one thing to be grateful for, focus on that thing and let it expand. And then you'll find out that there'll be more and more and more things to be grateful for. Okay. But like I said, you better start. If the only thing you could think of is that you breathing, then do that all day. You might even make yourself laugh. You might just trip yourself out and then end up in a happy mood. But you have to get into present time and just be appreciative and grateful, because what? Patience is the favorite cousin of gratitude. So when we are patient, that means that we have an understanding of the universal law that God has established, that the Most High has established, that, okay, I might not see it today, but I'm going to see it one day. All this work that I'm putting in, I'm going to see it one day. And remember what a prayer is. A prayer is not just a ritual, right? A prayer is you going to an elder to get advice. A prayer is you seeking wisdom, seeking counsel, you doing charity work. A prayer is you going to the grocery store and picking a better healthy food item or something that can, make you a little bit more healthy. That is a prayer because you are putting on an action that says, I want to be better. I want to do better. So when we think about how everything that we desire, we can in some way, shape, or form get that thing. Even if it don't look like exactly what you thought it would. Okay? And that's a big thing. Sometimes it don't look like what you think it is, but that doesn't mean you're not going to get it. So gratitude. What is gratitude? What is gratitude? When you start to feel depressed, go outside, take a walk in nature. I remember Minister Farrakhan said that, when you're not feeling good about yourself or you're feeling down about yourself and you need something to hold on to, take a walk in nature. Look at how the trees are so solid. Look at how there's mountains. Look at how the sun is out. Look at how the grass still grows. Look at how the birds are still finding their worms. Look at how all these things are still happening regardless to what's happening in your life. The Most High is trying to show us that life is going life. And you have the ability and the opportunity to be a part of this life. Life is not supposed to be easy, It's not supposed to be all burdensome either, but it's not supposed to be easy. And we have to learn that the things that we've been seeing on social media and Instagram and everybody smiling and happy and child, everybody is going through something. Everybody, even the smiliest person. So let's be grateful. When I tell you this is our time, go ahead and check out my previous video where I talk about the New World Order. We are about to have new leadership. We are about to have people who truly desire this world to be revolved around the Most High. We are being drawn out to speak. We are being drawn out to stand up. We are being drawn out to be the models. We are being drawn out to show how you can be modest and fly, how you can be spiritual and normal, whatever that means, whatever normal means, We are being drawn out to show that this is a lifestyle, that gratitude is an attitude, it's a lifestyle. And that, yes, even us, we get in our ruts, right? Those who say that they're spiritual or those who have a connection when it comes to religion or some type of religious organization or whatever, those who call themselves Christian, Muslim, Jews, all of those people sometimes get in a rut, sometimes crazier than those so-called people who are so-called secular, right? But it's funny because life is going to life. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you call yourself. The tools that you need, the tools that help you to deal with life, that's the gift. And so I'm always grateful for the tools, because when I'm feeling sad and I've been there crying in my bed like, oh, if I just don't live another day, that'll be great. The tools, I'm so grateful for the tools, the books, the knowledge, the wisdom, me being able to study nature, me being able to look out the window and see the sun still gonna rise, the moon is still gonna glow, the trees are still gonna sway in the wind. When I see that and I see how solid the Most High's creation is and how consistent it is when it comes to life, I think, okay, well, there's cycles in everything. There's cycles in the soil, there's cycles in the animal kingdom, there's cycles in the ocean, there's cycles everywhere we look. So don't think that your life won't be cyclical. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be down and then you back up and then down. And then sometimes there's some years where you're down and then there's going to be years where you're up and there's going to be, that's life. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the tools, let's be grateful for the tools. Let's be grateful that we have life. And I'm talking about even if you're in a hospital right now, watching this video, wherever you are, you still have something to be grateful for. And I'm here to say thank you for watching. And I'm grateful for you because we are connected. Whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, we are connected because you're watching me and I'm talking to you. I might not even know your name, but the fact that you're watching me means we're on the same frequency. And that means that it's time. It's your time and it's my time to start doing and being who we are supposed to be and doing the things we're supposed to do. So it's your sister Akila, and I appreciate you. Peace.